5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. Oh! Oh no! Hold on. Wait, did the ejection charge go off?
I think it did.
Okay. We're gonna let it sit for a second. What is that?
That is the parachute, I think.
That's gonna be hot. That's one of the parachutes and some wadding. Oh, that's two of the parachutes. Okay, that's the rocket's parachutes. Okay, the ejection charge would have gone off by now, so it's safe to approach. Oh, the minifigure! No! And the quarters.
You got cooked.
Wow. Yeah. Is he hot? Okay. Dude, the poor lad. Look at him. He's missing the Iron Man helmet face thing.
Dang.
Oh, the poor guy.
He got cooked.
He really did. Okay. Nose cone has a hole in it.
Look, the inside's clean.
Oh, there you go. That's funny. Okay. The connection, it's still connected.
Yeah.
Oh, that's hot in there.
Oh,
okay,
look.
That's what happened. Like, all of this is just from crashing. It didn't blow that out. But this, oh, it's not even hot anymore. It's just remelted.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, fallen soldier. Wow.
That was crazy.
That's really crazy. Hello, hi. This is the post-launch recap for NovaStorm, which is a really cool rocket that I was really excited to launch, and we're going to talk about why it's really sad when motors mess up. Now, in this post-launch analysis, first I'm going to tell you what NovaStorm is, then I'm going to tell you why we think it went so horribly wrong. So first of all, NovaStorm is a vehicle that I recently constructed. It's built out of the same size body tube as Cyclone back there. That's a 74mm body. It ran on an E12 rocket motor, and that motor is exactly why this rocket looks the way it does now. Now, NovaStorm was cool for a few reasons. One, it's kind of the redemption arc for Thunderstruck. If you haven't seen that video, Thunderstruck is a vehicle that used the exact same body tube diameter and a very similar fin can, though this has been changed a lot because that fin can is the reason that Thunderstruck is no longer with us. It uses the same shape nose cone as Cyclone, but slightly modified in its length to fit this vehicle. And all in all, it's kind of just a hybrid rocket that should have worked really well. It was well engineered, even though I'm the one that engineered it, and that might sound biased, but it truly was well engineered. It's still sitting here like this. So NovaStorm's main fin can difference from Thunderstruck is Thunderstruck used these little square fins. We were trying to see how small of fins can you make because we thought it would look really cool. But on NovaStorm, we decided to use actual full-length fins. These were a redesign for a very similar fin can, but a redesigned fin shape. Along with this, another modification that was made was NovaStorm got a boat tail, which is really cool. A boat tail is this little part right here that actually comes down around where the motor slipped in. Helps with aerodynamics. It would have helped it go a lot faster. Because of this, I devised this really cool idea. On our motor retention mount, it now has these little keyhole things where this little tool that I also printed can fit in and grab it, because you can't get your fingers in there to screw it in or out. So that's what this is for. And I was really happy with this design. It's really cool, and I am saving this because I'm probably going to use that again at some point. But on this vehicle, this is not going to fly again. Two more cool things that I'll give you real fast is it was going to use 2 parachutes. This would have been the first time that I launch a vehicle that recovers itself with 2 parachutes. As you can see, yeah, didn't recover with 2 parachutes. This is now a block of plastic that used to be a parachute, but no longer is. So it was going to come down under 2 parachutes, but it actually had 3 parachutes on board, and that's because it had this little minifigure man on board. This was just 2 little minifigure parts and a little Iron Man head that I had extra lying around, and this was going to be one of the coolest parts, was that it was going to eject a little parachuting Lego minifigure, but this little parachuting Lego minifigure is now a scorched and burned Lego minifigure that has seen way better days than now, but it is now a scorched mess, missing its faceplate. The minifigure parachute assembly also had 3 quarters connected to it so that it would be able to have some weight to bring it down, because minifigures are really light. Those are also now scorched pieces of metal. And so all of that leads to, why is this a scorched heap of melted plastic in front of us, and why did this thing blow itself apart? And I have a theory on that. Now, the vehicle used a fin can, body tube, nose cone, and a little body extension here. That's what is all melted and destroyed. It was a thin little body tube coupler extension to give the rocket a little extra height, and that underneath the aerodynamic loads, and also what I'm about to explain in a second, bore the brunt of the heating once it flipped over and over, and that is why it is now re-solidified into this really distorted, wacky shape. So if you replay the flight video, the tracking shot, you can see right after liftoff, like really like 1 to 2 seconds into flight, the nose cone has ejected itself from the top. There is smoke coming out of the top, and the vehicle is now starting to flip over. The nose cone was literally, like the ejection charge had gone off, firing away from the vehicle. Without that, it was then tumbling end over end, and there was fire coming out this end and fire coming out this end. If you look at the top of this, it is scorched, like really covered in fire, and everything in here is just burned. This shock cord is burned. All of this was clearly experiencing a lot of fire, despite a ton of parachute protectant wadding. I put a ton of this stuff in there, and yet all of this, the coins, the minifigure, the parachutes, the interior, it's a scorched nightmare. So now to what I believe happened. Okay, little side note now that I'm getting to edit it and watch the footage. This rocket blew up fast. Like within a foot or 2 of the pad, the nose cone pops off. And then right after that, you can tell that not only did the parachute ejection charge happen early, but it happened, and then we kind of stopped producing thrust, because now the thrust is going into the vehicle and out of the vehicle. And from there, that's when it just starts tumbling end over end, fire on the inside. I was wondering how that bottom section melted so bad. It's because the full brunt of the engine's power was going through there, through the vehicle. So, yeah, it burned in. The second I loaded that motor into that rocket, there's nothing that we could have done to save it. It was a bad motor. If y'all have seen anything like this before, please comment down below, because in all my years of doing rockets, I've never seen anything like this motor. But unfortunately, a really cool rocket burned in because of a really bad motor, and we're just going to have to live with that and move on. I am going to try and recycle this tube and use it for something else, but in the meantime, yeah, that was just a rip, and something that we couldn't have saved, but on the bright side, really cool explosion. What I believe happened is we had a faulty motor. Plain and simple, I think that this motor killed the flight. While fire came out the back, we had a nice launch, it lifted off the pad great. Very quickly, there's fire coming out the front. And that doesn't happen when the motor is still firing out this way. There was a 4-second delay charge between the ignition of the engine and when the parachute deploying charge should have gone off. I think that this motor was just mismanufactured, and right after liftoff, you also had fire coming out into the vehicle. And a lot of fire in the vehicle when it shouldn't be in the vehicle, destroyed all of this. That is NovaStorm, a one-and-done rocket that was going to be really cool. It was still exciting to fly it. It was cool to go out there, try something new with 2 parachutes, try something new with a boat tail, try something new with this locking mechanism, try something new with launching a minifigure. A lot of cool stuff was going on with this flight, and no matter how it ended, it's still really cool that we were able to mess around with it and have some fun. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you don't mind, go ahead and subscribe. It is free, and we do cool, crazy content like this all the time here. We're constantly launching new rockets, so feel free to check that out. Again, it is free. Also, if you want to go see some of my other videos, we've had some crazy fails and some crazy cool successes. Built a lot of rockets on this channel, so I would urge you to go check that out. But anyways, that's it from me, and that's it from NovaStorm. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.